If you're watching this could be your sign to take your parent out for a parent-child date. Hi and welcome to day 85 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. It took quite a bit of convincing for my dad to agree to go out on a parent-child date. He juggles chores, work, and my mom who's not well, so understandably he'd be exhausted to do anything else or go out leisurely. The date I planned didn't involve spending a bunch of money, and my dad still got a facial and cafe experience for free. That's because I'm subscribed to email newsletters from malls and stores, so I get first dibs on what deals are on offer. Highly recommend keeping your eyes peeled whenever you walk around the mall so you don't miss a good deal. After inputting the promo code into the shopping mall app, I was eligible for a free facial and a cafe voucher of $20. And as with everything with my dad, I sent a request to him and he pushed the date all the way till the vouchers were about to expire. This was a sit-down facial where the staff cleaned his face and applied products that suited his combination skin type. It was nice seeing my dad getting pampered in that way, and I don't think I've ever heard of my dad going for any sort of facial. I also realized he hasn't been using toner or any hydrating or moisturizing skincare product. No wonder the staff said his skin's dehydrated. The cafe was near the river, so we took some nice pictures at Clarke Quay while walking there. This place was pretty foreign to him, and it was then that I also recall he usually doesn't go anywhere else outside of his workplace and the vicinity of his workplace. We had a pastry and coffee, and Dad started chatting a lot, probably from the caffeine. We ended our date getting discounted groceries for him. I'd share how I got them discounted in my next video, but let me just say that I definitely need more such days out with my dad. Hi and welcome to day 86 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. I took my dad out for a father-daughter date recently. This is what went down and why you should do something like this too. Dad experienced a facial, ate and drank at a cafe, and we went to get groceries at a discount. How and why were they discounted? One being that I paid for him. Two is a legitimate tip. If you're a FairPrice app user, you might have spotted a big banner at a storefront flashing a QR code or even small posters around the supermarket. They've been dishing out scratch cards daily as long as you scan the QR code, where you can get money off your groceries, sometimes without minimum spending. I played a game in-app and won a few bucks off for $25 spent, so why not do Dad's groceries then, right? I had no regret spending the afternoon together and felt like I should do this more often with him for these reasons. Listen to my dad's stories and share his joy. I could see he was so happy relating to me the techniques he used in class to get his students engaged and pay full attention to him. Spoil my dad? Dad, being my dad, always looks for the cheapest on the menu, although he clearly desires something else, so you can see how he hasn't been treating himself. If I'm able to get a free or more wallet-friendly experience, I'd want to spoil him. Spend quality time with my dad. In my family, mom tends to dominate conversations, so dad doesn't get a chance to speak as much. I find that on a father-daughter date like this, my dad can comfortably share his thoughts and I can properly and fully listen. There's a time and place for a family outing and for one-to-one parent-child dates. I'd like to schedule more of these as reasonably possible for them, so they're not simply going through life but getting the most out of it. I didn't expect a father-daughter date to leave me crying that night, but something shifted in me after that outing. Hi and welcome to day 87 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. After the date, my father casually told me he'd lost another half a kilo. Not like I haven't noticed it, he's been getting really slim. I wonder how much more he has to lose. I'd share more on the reasons he's able to maintain his slim figure and what I'm doing about it in an upcoming video. I also replayed this quiet moment in my head. We were at a mall and I wanted to look at hiking shoes, and I noticed he stood outside the store while I browsed. I don't know if it's because it looked expensive or if he just felt out of place, but I had to tell him to join me. And that's when it hit me. He looked like a small, helpless bird. I don't know if what I felt was pity or just a strong instinct to protect. Is this what new parents feel when they see their newborn? I saw my dad not as the provider, the fixer, the strong one. I saw him as someone quietly shrinking. If you're starting to see your parents differently too, noticed a few more white hairs, deeper wrinkles, maybe this is your sign to walk beside them gently while you still can. For me, I think it's time to step up as the mummy hen in the game 老鹰抓小鸡. Why is it so hard for older men to accept help even when they really need it? Hi and welcome to day 88 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. My maternal uncle, someone I love dearly just like my parents, has always been strong and independent. He's unmarried, lives alone, and still runs the provision shop passed down from my grandma. But since his stroke, things haven't been the same. He's dealing with dizziness, memory lapses, fatigue, and even changes in taste. Lately, he'll start saying something and forget what he wanted to say halfway through, and still, he resists any form of help. I make make it a point to visit him monthly with food or anything that might help improve his life. At one point, my uncle joked that it was almost like I was a volunteer visiting the elderly. Jokes aside, I recently got in touch with a social worker near his area. I've been trying to persuade him to get some support, but he was totally against the idea. His favorite line? 靠自己，我很勇敢的, which is great, but no man or woman is an island. More recently, because of his failing memory, he agreed very reluctantly to speak with the social worker. I'm in communication with the social worker to get him more support. I keep you guys updated in future videos, but I really believe no one should have to age with just one pillar of support, or worse still, no pillar of support but themselves. Not my uncle, not my dad. That's why I've also arranged for caregiver support for my dad. Our first meeting was postponed, but it's happening. It's tough convincing proud, capable men that help doesn't mean weakness. And what's harder? Watching the strongest people I know start to need things they've never asked for. In case you've been wondering why I've been posting less, here's what's been happening behind the scenes. Hi and welcome to day 89 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. In my last video, I talked about my uncle, the one who still runs the old provision shop passed down from my grandma. Well, he recently told me he plans to retire. It's getting too tough for him. The shop's barely surviving, he's been unwell, and there's stiff competition around. It wasn't a shock though. He's only able to open the shop for 1 hour a day now, and there's no one helping him. A lot of what I share here is about caring for my parents, but retiring them isn't just about caregiving, it's also about the financial side. And this shop might just be one way I do that. I've been handling the paperwork to take it over and getting in touch with people who can guide me, partners, collaborators, anyone who's walked this path before. I don't know yet if I'll run the shop the same way my family did or try something completely new. I just know that this is part of the journey now, part of how I hope to create something meaningful for them and from them. I recognize that there's risk getting into a business that was relevant and meaningful in the past, but that I see slowly diminishing in Singapore. But at the end of the day, being an entrepreneur or someone who loves doing her own thing, risk and uncertainty will be part of the process. It's why I've been quieter lately, but I'm still here, still documenting, just entering a new chapter. This channel started as a way to document my caregiving journey, but it's slowly becoming something so much more. Hi and welcome to day 90 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. I originally began posting to capture the ups and downs of caregiving, anything useful that I've learned that could help fellow caregivers, and my journey retiring my parents. But along the way, this space has become my form of accountability. It's where I consolidate what I'm learning, whether it's from therapy, my social worker, books, or even videos I've watched. Making these shorts helps me reflect, process, and remind myself of what I want to do better. And weirdly enough, knowing that someone out there might be watching makes me want to follow through even more. I'll think, if I shared that tip or insight, have I actually applied it in my own life yet? So this channel isn't just about storytelling, it's a personal checkpoint. It pushes me to keep showing up for my parents, for myself, and now for this little community here too. You're keeping me grounded and growing, even if we've never met. Thanks for being here, for witnessing, holding space, and helping me keep going. Another small caregiving win, I just cut our family's phone bills again. Hi and welcome to day 91 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. I recently signed my uncle up for Simba's Seniors Go Digital $5 per month phone plan. I'd already done it earlier for my dad and it's been working well, no frills, just what they need. It's one of those small but steady ways I'm reducing recurring expenses for the family. And honestly, every bit we save gets us one step closer to financial independence and retiring my parents. For my mom, I transitioned her away from an overpriced telco plan. She doesn't qualify for the seniors plan just yet, but I still found a decent $10 per month Simba plan, way more reasonable for her limited usage. These aren't massive moves, but they compound. Whether it's caregiving emotionally or financially, it's about being intentional in the day-to-day. Just thought I'd share this in case you're reviewing your own family bills too. Small switches really do add up.